I still don't get it. Okay, so when people die, you feed on their unrealized possibilities. The universal options for what would have happened if they didn't die. That I get, weird as it is, but one thing I'm still having trouble grasping is why powerful candles would matter in that case. Wouldn't it be the same regardless of who the person is? Wouldn't you get the same amount of power? Why would it matter if the person is powerful or not? It's quite simple. The more powerful someone is, the more influence that they press into the world, the more people who will be affected by them, the more people who affect them as the individual who dies, the more possibilities there are. So obviously, a man who starves to death on the street, loved by no one, afraid and alone, and a man who claims a throne as king, who rules over thousands, makes laws and order or chaos. Whether he is good or bad, his actions, his power affect many others. So, in this, his tapestry grows far more dense than a no one dying on the street with no name and no loved ones. The more possibilities there are, the more fates that are intertwined with their death, the more it affects the world, the greater the amount of power that is yielded from their death. This is why the candles of the powerful are coveted amongst my people. They are not easy to obtain. In fact, it is quite a challenge. We reapers fight like predators over these candles. Every candle that you are able to obtain is a ring of possibilities for giving you power as a reaper. And so, when candles of great possibility emerge, are woven into the fabric of existence, then obviously we reapers come into confrontation over who will be the warden of that candle, who will gain the right to end them and claim the immense possibility, energy that is produced in the moment of their death, he said as he turned around once more, pulling to a stop in the hallway, looking at me with that green eye. And for a second, through that ashen hair, I swear I could have seen a smile peering out at me. I had to fight 15 reapers to claim your candle, Victor. It actually stands as one of my prized possessions, one of my most valuable candles, and that is why I keep it in my trophy room with my other most valuable possessions, my candles, of course. Okay, it's a little disturbing that you were having such a nice fight over my death, but you are a Grim Reaper, so it does sort of make sense. I just wish you weren't so happy about it. So, next power, please. I'd kind of like this very creepy conversation to be over as soon as possible, I said, following him as he continued to make his way down this insanely long corridor Seriously, was this thing ever going to end? It seemed to just keep going and going. And it wasn't like we were going in circles either. I was keeping an eye on it. I hadn't passed the same candle twice. Each and every one of them was different. Just how many candles does this guy have? Exactly how many souls is he intending on sending to the hereafter? He said he had to fight other reapers to get my candle, and that he has other prized candles like mine. Is there power structure within the Reaper world? Based on what I had read, I had almost believed that it was simply the king on top, and all the other Reapers were simply the same, low level, all having the same power and influence. But is it not that way? Is there more structure to it than that? Are some Reapers more powerful than others? In order for him to beat 15 others in order to claim my candle, it only seems logical that he was stronger than them. So, in terms of Reapers, how strong is mine? The next power that you will need to understand is the use of Reaper energy. Reaper energy? Yes, the energy that a Reaper collects can be utilized in many fashions. We are able to produce a Reaper shroud like the one you perceived before over the old woman you were talking about. By placing a shroud over one, you may observe them more carefully, as well as gather their energy more effectively when you claim them. It is possible to do this with anyone, but I warn you, shrouding another's target is something that other Reapers will not take kindly to. What? I asked, not really understanding where he was going with it. By placing your shroud over one, you gain the ability to observe them. Regardless of where you are or what you're doing, you can perceive them through your mind's eye. Also, it allows you to collect the ambient energies that are created when they die. However, if someone else possesses the candle for that individual, they will not be pleased. When another owns possession of that death, then by using your shroud, you are stealing away the energy that is meant for them when they die, of course. And so, that Reaper might find that offensive. Enough so that they might, well, challenge you. Seek vengeance for the theft of what was rightfully theirs. The possibility energy that emits when they die. Okay, well, those are nice things to know. Next, you may use Reaper energy to form other things. Reaper energy obeys the will, so once you possess enough Reaper energy, you can create things like the shroud, but also objects, things that you might make use of. What are you talking about? What kind of objects? What do you mean make use of? No, that is hard to describe, he said, stopping for a moment. I know. Let me explain it this way. By utilizing Reaper energy, you can basically create anything, anytime, anywhere. And this energy can be used to attack or defend, to create, based on whatever you can imagine. You can even don it in your spiritual state. The soul is normally a weak thing when outside of the body, when it comes to the living. But you are endowed with the power of a reaper, so your soul is not so soft. You do not possess your wolven abilities when outside of your body. You are restricted only to your spiritual power. So, if you go through the trouble of collecting Reaper energy, you may also don Reaper weaponry. You could create a sword or shield, armor to protect you. Gain enough of it, and you could even form places like this one that we stand in now. All of what you see before you was created with my Reaper energy. It is a construction of my own making, forged of my power, and you simply reside within it. Even the physical state you see now is merely the form that I prefer. I don't know why I like this form, but Reapers are funny like that. Have preferences, but no means to understand why we have them. All Reapers do not look like me. In fact, we can differ drastically. Reapers look very little like a human being. Some look like monsters from your nightmares. Others more like savage animals. And others still resemble the dead or specters. Our forms are of our own choosing, something that we forge using Reaper energy. So, do you understand? Okay, got it. Reaper energy. Very useful stuff. Yes, it is why Salvera Reaper craved us so. The Reaper energy that he devoured when consuming us filled his appetite quite well.